only have one vegetable in your pantry, which one would you pick? I'm Hannah Mason, and in this episode of You Don't Know Beans, I'm going to share my absolute favorite vegetable, the one I always make sure to keep in my pantry all year round, and it is the oh so plump sweet potato. So this is kind of a humble looking dude. In my house, they arrive to me usually caked with mud because I order from a farm that delivers produce pretty much how they pull it out of the ground. So a lot of times there's kind of dirt flying around everywhere. And I absolutely love sweet potatoes. I actually didn't grow up eating them because my dad, who I absolutely love and has incredible taste in food, unfortunately isn't so into sweet things except for dessert. And because we couldn't figure out how to get sweet potato in dessert and the idea of a sweet potato pie was just way too American for him, we never ate sweet potato growing up. So it's actually been an acquired taste for me, and I absolutely love sweet potato for multiple reasons. One, it's incredibly versatile and very easy to prepare. You can chop up a sweet potato in about a minute and throw it into any soup. You can make it into fries. You can cut it in circles and roast it in the oven. There are so many things you can do. I find the easiest thing, and I do this a lot, is I cut a sweet potato long ways in half. And then I put it face down to roast in the oven. I'll put the oven at about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about 200 degrees Celsius, and let it cook for about 30 minutes. And I just score it with a knife, and if the knife goes in really easily, I know that it's soft and tender and ready to eat. And then I can eat it just like that, just by itself, without doing anything else. And part of why I love that is because it makes my life so much easier. Those of you who know how we eat in my house, we tend to eat very work-intensive foods. Lots of greens and vegetables that need peeling and chopping and this and that. To have something that's really easy to work with is absolutely fantastic. So there are those who say that if you could only live on one vegetable, sweet potato is a really good option because it's got so many of the nutrients that you need. It's chock full of easy to digest carbohydrates. So it's a mixture of fiber and also simple sugars, which is why it's so incredibly sweet. Those simple sugars keep your blood sugar levels going, and at the same time, the fiber keeps it from spiking too high and also feeds all the little friends we got in our microbiome. It's also, as you can tell by the orange color, full of carotenoids. I always say that a little bit funny. It's vitamin A, beta carotene, and all sorts of carotene-related compounds that are just really great for all different parts of our body. And sweet potato is also just yummy. It's one of the first foods that you can introduce to babies. You can roast it just like I said before, and then very, very easily is soft enough that you can quickly feed it to a baby, and it comes in its own little package. The other food that I think is fantastic for feeding to babies is bananas, because bananas can travel with you in their own package anywhere you go, and you can just scoop them right out of the banana and mash them inside of the banana, and there you go. You fed a kid really good food that's chock full of carbohydrates. Now, I want to mention, yet again, I've said it in so many videos, but maybe you haven't seen any of my videos yet, that carbohydrates are really, really important. We as human beings are designed for the digestion of carbohydrates. We have teeth that are designed to break down fiber. We have a very, very, very long digestive tract that's also designed to process fiber. Carnivorous animals have very short digestive tracts so they can move protein in and out of their body as quickly as possible. Because protein, if it stays in the body for too long, it rots, which is what happens to human beings, which is why animal protein can be actually really quite toxic and is quite toxic to us, causing cancer and heart disease and diabetes and Alzheimer's, not to mention all of the pathogens that tend to hang around animal products that also wreak all sorts of havoc in our body, like bladder infections and brain infections and who knows what other infections like salmonella and stuff like that. In any case, Carbohydrates are what you need as fuel to get you through the day. So if you think of yourself as a car, this is your gasoline. It's really efficient. Sugar gets into your blood and gets spread throughout the body to give energy to every single cell in your body. And the cells that need sugar the most are actually the cells up here in the brain. Your brain needs sugar, and if you deprive your brain of sugar, you can get kind of wonky in your thinking, and it ain't so good. So, great carbohydrates, lots of vitamins and minerals, also really good source of fiber that feeds the microbiome, easy to cook. But if you want to do something a little bit special with your sweet potato, I want to give you a killer sweet potato recipe. So you can take sweet potatoes either whole or cut in half, as I mentioned before, or you can throw them in a pressure cooker exactly like this and steam them for a long time so that you can score it and it's soft on the inside, and then just allow the peel to just run right off. You can do this with any root vegetable, as I've mentioned before. So you take that either roasted or boiled or steamed sweet potato, throw it into a bowl and mash it. It'll mash really fast, much, much easier than a white potato will mash because, I don't know, it's not as starchy. It's just so much softer to work with. So you mash it up. Chop up fresh dill. Fresh dill, like every other herb, is a leafy green, and leafy greens are so important to our diet. People have a tendency to miss the fact that all the herbs, in addition to having all sorts of great antibacterial and antimicrobial properties, are leafy greens. So chop up some fresh dill, throw that in. You can chop up or crush fresh garlic or put in powdered garlic. And then you can put in a little bit of a fatty substance that will help all of the fat-soluble vitamins that are in the broccoli and that are in the greens digest better. So you can put a little bit of tahini, you can put some peanut butter or almond butter, just a little bit. You only need a tiny little bit, otherwise the flavor is going to be kind of overbearing over the sweet potato, which has a more of a mild flavor. You mash that all together, add salt to taste, and now you have gourmet mashed sweet potatoes. If you really want to go all out, you can whip it in a blender and then even put it into a pastry bag and serve it in like little bundles of joy of sweet potato deliciousness. So hopefully you've enjoyed the recipe. If you have, or if you have other recipes for sweet potato, please write that down in the comments. And if you're looking to up your vitality, either through lifestyle, diet, exercise, or you want to up your mental vitality because you're feeling kind of down these days, please be in touch with me. We can set up a discovery session to see how we can help you manifest your life and health goals. In the meantime, I wish you many little joys. Want to find out what's blocking your vitality? Quickly take the quiz at hanamason.com/healthquiz.